shoulder guts to you. Are you kidding?
Okay, it's awesome. Do you share back with them immediately?
Ask the client, not the realtor.
I let it go.
Yeah.
I share back with them right away. This is me right here, right? I learned, be real, be transparent. One of the things I've learned over the years, at least, and I think people keep it real with me, is they're like, Don, I like your energy. I really like your energy, you know? And man, if I could bottle it, I would be a billionaire. If I could bottle this at 57 and just stick it in a bottle and say, here, suck this air down and you'll have good energy. It's something that, it's good. People want it, right? It's really good. And then be honest and be transparent. And then the integrity piece, man, like I said, I'm all about the decisions and examining the ones you make, right? And I said some have had little or no impact, others have had moderate, and some have had somewhat severe, right? But when you have that integrity that he's talking about, right, and doing what you say, peace that comes with it. Again, I'm a high energy person, but at the end of the day, I like to shut it down too. I can't do people all the time. Right? I need to be a recluse every now and then and just kind of wind it down. But when I do, I want to know that, you know what? I've honored Mike by working as hard as I could to prepare for this, right? To show up, I take care of my kids, I pay my bills, I love my mom, I call her every day, and you know, I hold the door open for people even though they walk in and don't say thank you anymore, which irritates me. I want to just, you know, but I do my best to be integrous, and I think that provides me a lot of peace, and I always want to pass that along to people. It's a good reminder, right? Because it's just, I think you get it. It goes back to the self-examination stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
Can you guys see how everything that I'm talking about, it all is intertwined, everything, right? That's why I came up with these titles. And then when I wrap it up, it's all these sexy words, right, that I'm talking about, the dedication and the integrity and the bravery. The last slide I have is the least sexiest of them all, but the toughest to accomplish. Okay, now that I built this amazing crescendo, right? Okay. Okay, so confidence. I think we can agree. You gotta be confident to sell, right? I told you I used to be a scared, shy kid. I had one date in high school. Her name was Julie Agee. I'll never forget it. I was like, I gotta go to one prom, man. I gotta go, right? My hair was up to here. I had giant hair parted down the middle. It's like, I wouldn't have gone out with me. I mean, it was, you know, kind of weird. And I always felt like I was, you know, charming, but I was shy. Just had no confidence, just none. Put me in an athletic event, could crush it. Put me in with people, it just wasn't happening. And so what I learned is I wasn't doing the necessary things to prepare, right? Whether it was for school or life or my relationships or take care of myself, et cetera, et cetera. Preparedness, it breeds confidence, okay? So I didn't just write this presentation, right? I wrote it, I practiced it, I put the pictures in there. So when I do it, I've done it before, when I do it, I can do it in front of 10,000 people. I don't care. I'll put it out there, I'll do the best, because I have walked around my kitchen island 100 times and gone over the talking points and discussed them and practiced them and thought about it in my head, just like you should be doing when you go to a listing presentation or when you're with buyers out there. If you don't know the territory, if you don't know the area, if you don't know what's going on, if you don't know loan programs, you're not doing your clients any justice. You're just not. These guys, I know, they're dialed into what's happening, and you should, it's an honor for you guys probably to, I mean, just to be a part of something like this, right? Because I can tell you, most teams, they're not doing this stuff. They're not even close to doing this. It's just not happening out there, you know? Training in our industry, it kind of sucks, I think. You got to put an effort out there to go make it happen. But mark my words, like I said, as a 57-year-old guy who's been professionally selling corporate with Fortune 300 companies for 25 plus years, you want to breed, you go in prepared. That's the difference between people who are like mediocre and highly successful, right? And all you guys are successful, it's just about getting more. And then what does that do for your self-esteem? Well, it gives you, obviously, it pumps you up, right? If you care about yourself and what's going on around you, and I don't care what anyone says, people with low self-esteem, they're not going to be successful in selling. It's just not going to happen. You got to believe in yourself. And, you know, with self-esteem, it's like, you know, sometimes I think about self-esteem and like the, this participation award era nonsense that doesn't do anything for your self-esteem. They think it does, but it actually detracts from it. does nothing because that's not the way the real world is. And then this confidence thing, I'll put it in here. These are all notes from me that I've come up with. You cannot measure it, right? You can't. You can step on a scale and find out how much you weigh. You can put your back up against the wall and it'll tell you how tall you are, but nobody is going to be able to measure the confidence that I have, right, from all this practice, or the confidence that Mike has from just knowing what he does in that room in there, right, in the back cave where all the magic happens for you guys and the leads and what goes on, or when Shauna's going out and Mike just brags about her ability too, which is awesome, right, which is I'd love to see, which is so cool. And but it's so powerful. It just is really powerful. And I've been in situations where, because I'm outgoing and more fun and more, you know, whatever, I can yuck it up with the best of them. I've been in business situations at leadership programs where when I went up and did my thing, right, they're like, damn, I didn't know you had that side of you. I thought you were just a total crazy fun guy. And it's like, well, you know, I get it. That's cool. But you need that diversity, right? That's important. And then this part, hopefully, you know, I know it's the end of the day, and I told myself, all right, they're going to be exhausted, and I come in with good energy, but I do believe that confidence and good energy, it's contagious, right? Everyone wants to hang around fun people. Nobody wants to hang around. If I came in here and just kind of, it'd be like, God, get me out of here, right? I wasn't going to come in just like with a box of index cards and just kind of flip through them, you know, and just torture you guys a little bit, but I can't, and it is. And as an agent or whatever you're doing in life, just put some good energy out there, because we do live in a cynical, tough world right now, right? And so when you exude that love and that I learned from my mom, like I said, the master, right? And I did. She's still alive. She's 88. She lives back in Vegas, and I go back every 2 months or so to visit her. We talk every day. But to be hugged and to be told, I love you, and you're awesome, and this, that. Now, she drives me nuts, too, with stuff, you know, whatever. It's all good. It goes with the package. But, man, that's what people want. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. Okay, let's see here. What time is it?
Oh, you got plenty of time.
Awesome.
You got
I'm rolling.
3 hours and 16 minutes.
You're hilarious. Okay, it's okay. All right. So we work hard so we can play hard. Okay, now I do lots of things. I ride motorcycles. I like to play hoops. I'm a scratch golfer. I play tennis. But since I moved to Texas, I love fishing, right? This bass fishing, I'm like addicted to it now. And I like to play in the dirt. Well, you saw Princess Ashley. She's not a dirty one, okay? She doesn't do that stuff. But you know what? One of the beauties of our relationship is, you know, we have an agreement. Like, stuff that's important to her, hey, I support it, I do it, whatever. Stuff that's important to me, she supports it, and that's the importance of a good relationship, right? But this was one of my biggest fish. This was at Grapevine Lake. I can't even get to Grapevine. All the lakes are like flooded. The roads getting into Grapevine are shut down. But this was one of my big fat boys that I caught. You can see this picture.
He's ecstatic.
I swear to God, I didn't want to take the picture. There was 2 guys standing next to me who were fishing. They're like, dude, get over here. We're taking that picture of you. That thing is awesome, right? So I've been running around. I keep my poles in the car all the time, and I go fishing wherever. But that was a fat boy. It's like a 4-pounder or something. Super fun.
You know what I've learned? Anytime you get a fish, right, you're doing it perfectly. You hold the fish out closer to the camera, and it distorts the size. If you hold the fish here, you know it, right? You know it. Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Oh my
we're on
God.
the same
And
page.
I catch and release everything. Because obviously I'm not going to eat something that's covered in mud, right? And whatever. Lord knows what else is going on out there. But I think we get that. And that's why I do work hard, right? And I do work hard every day. But I like to play hard too and have fun. That's why we work, right? So we can live. Good God. Okay, here we go. All right. So I think I said to both you guys, look, I'm super grateful to be here, and I mean, I'm grateful we're friends. I'm full of gratitude. I feel blessed with the life that I've had, right? I've made so many new friends, and I've lived in the Bay Area, I've lived in Vegas, and now here, and it's just like, I reek of gratitude. I mean, I'm super happy, you know, with my life. So let's relate it to your clients. Let's think about your database and your sphere of influence. What are you doing to say thank you to your clients? What are you doing to say thank you to the deals you've got going now? What are you doing to say thank you for anyone who does a referral to you? What are you doing to say thank you to the people in your sphere? Like I said, more often than not, probably not enough.
We just had a minute and or an hour and 2 minutes, thanks to Andy Tuttle telling us all the things that we need to do to be more thankful and grateful and how to follow up.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we have like 18 pages of.
Okay, good. So
Double-sided.
do what you get it. So, and then happiness, look, it's a universal desire, right? We all know it. We all want to be happy. It's just tough sometimes, right? You got to work at it. You got to work at your happiness. What was that movie? The Pursuit of Happiness. I mean, let's face it, right? Happiness is big. Okay, so I learned this from my dad. My mom was nice, but she was a little more ruthless than my dad, to be perfectly honest. She's got this tough side because she was raised in the Philippines, and the Japanese came and killed her brother, and she lived through a war, and so she's got a little edge to her. But my dad, being a shy guy, he was like, Pete, it costs you nothing. Just be nice and polite all the time, and you'll be successful in business. And I was just like, okay, I think I can do that, right? Always had good manners. I believe I'm nicer than most, but if you're not practicing that enough, you may want to think about that, right? Because the world, you know why it's so powerful in today's world is because so many people aren't nice. And so many people have lost the art of manners, right? They're not polite. They don't say please and thank you. They bust in, and I love my boys are 25 and 20, and I love them. And they saw how I was, and they've seen the method of my madness, right? And they do have good manners, but a lot of their friends don't. And it's obviously an environmental thing, and our parents and what we teach them, but when you are nice and polite, man, you stick out like a sore thumb because of what's going on in the world, right? You just do. So it's powerful, and it costs you nothing, right? Nothing, unlike all that stuff that Aaron probably showed you with a lot of it costs stuff, right? It costs money. And then this part, like, hey, these guys are so incredibly generous, right? I've learned from them just in my short time of knowing them, just having a giving heart. I mean, it's so powerful. Again, going back to comparing what's going on in the world, in a world where, let's face it, everyone their faces are buried in their stinking phones and their iPads and all this stuff. The simple things get lost. So don't forget about the simple things of just being kind and sending notes, and just pick up the phone every once in a while to the people in your sphere and go, you know what? You don't have to have a reason. Just say, hey, I just wanted to call and say hello. I was missing you. I was thinking, who are you and why are you calling me? What the heck, right? I mean, but that giving heart. Yeah, it's so powerful. Be grateful, ladies and gentlemen. Be grateful.
Is this the time I should share that text message you sent me late at night when you were saying like, hey, thanks for this and that, and like it was great.
You can do whatever you want.
No, all right, I won't talk about that.
This is something I don't think we do enough. She's into the holidays and all this stuff, birthdays. I'm just a dude. I'm like whatever, okay? Do I got to get cards for everything and this and that? But I saw this picture. Celebrate too. Take time. You guys do, right? Take time to celebrate those successes that you have, and with clients and all those good times in your life, because life is hard. Sometimes it's just hard sometimes, right? It's just hard to get through it. So make sure when those moments come up that you do celebrate and you do enjoy it, and you cherish the loved ones that you're with, and it goes back to that immeasurability, right? You just can't. Those are just great times, right? So he's chuckling over here. He's just laughing. He's like, "I'm laughing, you rascal."
Well, I thought I was looking at the picture. I was seeing what the gifts were. I thought you had a whole massager in the background.
Okay.
That's what you gave her.
This is that was the party we went to. That was just staged, okay, the whole thing. So, has everyone heard of Stephen Covey? 7 Habits of Successful People, right? I stole this from him because, again, I'm a big believer in, with understanding comes peace. You guys get that? If you understand stuff, right? If like I remember going back to school, right? They're teaching a lesson or something, you're like, I don't understand a word they're saying. There's no peace there, right? There's just no peace. Or like for me, we just had a new CRM introduced to Fidelity, and they came in for the 2-hour training, and the guys just ripped through it, and I'm like, dude. You gotta talk to us like we're 4th graders. You've been doing this stuff forever. It's like, I said, do you play golf? He's like, no. I go, okay, well, I'm going to teach you golf in 5 minutes, all right? You're going to suck. You're going to suck. You're going to embarrass yourself, but hey, and he was like, okay. I get it. I was having huge anxiety. Bad enough, I'm 57 and I gotta learn the CRM. You get the point, right? Where I'm going with this. Understanding brings peace. So, buying or selling a home is a big deal. Going back to that, hey, anything keeping you up at night? How are we doing? Everything good? You guys cool? Right? You see where I'm going with this? I consider myself somewhat telepathic, but most aren't. We have to communicate with them. Okay, it reminds me of this guy Nick Corey. He was a loan officer that I used to talk that I was coaching at this place called All Western, and he was like, Pete, I need to meet more agents, man. I know you can do it. Help me. I go, yeah, I can do it. I go, tell me what you're doing right now. And he's just like, well, you know, he had a vowel movement, oh, and I'm just like, oh, nothing, right? You're just so magnanimous. It's just people are just going to come. It just doesn't work like that. Okay, you got to talk to people. Eliminating any fears. It all relates to the safety piece, right? You got to make sure, but oftentimes people don't want to share bad news or tell you that you suck or you're not doing your job, right? They'll wait till the end and tell 10,000 other people. They'll give you your money and then they'll rip you to shreds. Good news lasts for, I don't know, a day and a half. Bad news, 18 years. Prove it back. I'm not kidding. I didn't make up that. That's a statistic that one of these think tanks came up with. They will badmouth you for decades. Okay? Don't do it. What's your role in the transaction? I personally think, and there's a lot of things changing in our business too, right? I mean, now's a good time to really kind of assess what you're doing, but your role in the transaction to me is to protect your client, whether it's a buyer or seller. Right? And these guys know better than me, but what are you doing to protect them? What's going on? You should know your role if you don't. And then I just believe it's the, you know, like when you have kids, to know what's going on in their life, you gotta ask questions. What's happening? How am I doing? Is there any, you know, whatever it is, whatever questions, these guys are coaching, you know what? But you gotta ask the questions. You gotta physically do the work, right? It's like, if you wanna get in shape, it's very simple. You don't need to join a gym. Just do push-ups and pull-ups and eat smart. That's all you gotta do. Super simple. And I have visual proof of that coming up. Okay. All right, I love this. As we go through all this stuff, right? Like I said, life is hard, and I saw this and I just thought it was stupid. Have you guys seen this before? Mm-hmm. Here's the guy, he's got the Ferrari, the jet, the this, the money, stressing out, everything. Here's the dog. He's just thinking about us being together. Right? And that's all I was thinking about too, coming in here, because I've been selling for so long. I mean, I get it. I know what it takes. I can tell people when they're going to be successful or not. Many people, I'm like, you need to get out of sales. You need to go do something else, right? Unless you start making some serious changes in your behavior, And I hope everyone knows that look, I can go out and have a beer and bowling and do anything with them, go fishing with all you guys, and we have a great time. What I'm talking about here is an examination of your behaviors. Does everyone get that? There's no personal attack here. This is a very important distinction, because I'll say stuff and I can see people kind of like, who are you to judge me? I'm not judging. I'm simply pointing out behaviors in people, and this is about behavior modification, right? Or a behavioral assessment, which corporations do all the time, but it takes guts to look inside, right? Like I said. But that's what I'm addressing, is your behaviors. What are you doing on a daily basis? And I just thought this was so cute. Like, I lost my dog after 17 years. This year I had to put him down. Dude, he was like 85-pound lab, and then he went down to 58 pounds, and I was like, okay, he had to go. But he was in doggy heaven, and I just remember all he ever wanted to do was just be petted or loved or whatnot, right? Life was so simple to him, and it just kind of reminded me of that. And here we are, just like, you know, like I said, I mean, 6 o'clock you get up and it's just a wheel spinning, or at 1:15, I had to teach myself meditation, which I do have some good meditation tips. All right, let's see here.
I knew you were into yoga.
Oh God, I don't do that yoga. I do my own yoga. Okay, so uniqueness, let's see here, okay, just I'll rip through this. You are your brand, right? I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, but you know what it is, right? Have you defined it? I mean, what is it? Maybe you don't even know it. Maybe you don't even really know what your brand is. Whatever that looks like, you know, in today's world. And the thing I love about uniqueness is that, sorry, I couldn't help myself, okay, is that it cannot be replicated. There's other people who could talk about this stuff, but nobody's gonna do it the way I do it. Nobody's got my life experience. Nobody's got Mike's experience or Shauna's or any of yours, right? You just have to have the guts to tell it, right? That's what branding is all about. Who are you? Okay? Oh, they're just rolling in now. They heard I was amazing, huh?
Yeah,
You guys texted
We
them?
tweeted it.
Yeah, got it. You are so beat. Okay, now machines, websites, CRMs, all those things that you guys are playing with while I'm talking, they're not unique. Everyone's got them. Nobody's got me, or what comes out of my mouth, right? Or what comes out of my heart. Nobody has that. Everyone has all that stuff. So just have the guts to do it and be unique, okay? You are. That's what you do. And then lead your clients down your path of uniqueness. That's what I did with Ashley, right? I just led her down this path of how magnificent
She was so down a path.
She bought it. Hook, line, and sinker. Yeah, I got the right lure on that one. No. This again, courage, bravery, all these things, confidence, right? All of it interrelated back to it. Man, it takes guts to be in sales. Okay, it takes a lot of guts, and I do. When I go out in the field, Mike and I've had discussion, and candid ones even. But it's about you got to lead people to you, right? When I would first meet somebody in an office, this was my philosophy, and I think this is a good philosophy for you guys as you're prospecting too. I'll share this with you. I would walk into an office at 9 o'clock in the morning. I am Pete. And
That's Tammy.
pleasure. And oftentimes, right, there would be 20 other vendors that could walk in. Lenders, home warranty, insurance, roofers, I don't care, other title companies, et cetera, et cetera. So I always felt like, okay, I have to be so amazing and magnanimous and memorable, which is the key element, right? That when everyone else walked out, they would be like, Mike would be like, sorry, I used to be Dunlap. He's my guy. That's hard to do, okay? And so I literally would tell them all the reasons why they're gonna wanna work with me. A lot of people don't do that. I mean, because human beings, most of them are lemmings, right? They will follow you if you've got the guts to lead them. And so when you're selling and if you employ a strategy like this, more often than not, you will find them following you. Because there's very few leaders out there. Most people want to follow. You just got to have the guts to do it. And the rap takes practice, right? It takes practice to get, and you'll find whatever your niche is in there, and the words you use, and the lexicon. And I always believe, I studied that dictionary a lot, right? Because I like to drop the words on people, and because they're thinking, okay, everyone likes to hang around smart people, right? But it takes an effort, and so just weave it in there and then lead people down your path. Just like Leo Buscaglia kind of sucked me in with all this stuff. Does that make sense? That's powerful. That's a powerful concept, okay? All right, let's see here, what do we got? Are you guys buying what I'm selling?
100%.
Okay, cool. All right, then the knowledge piece, right? I told you, I was a dumbass kid, right? I made terrible mistakes. I mean, I was a car parking, pot smoking, like just not making good decisions kind of guy, right? Just doing dumb things. And I told you, my income reflected it. Up to 27, I don't think I made over like $21,000. If you saw my income after 37, you would probably be like, okay, this guy started making some good decisions. I was even shocked. My dad, when I rolled up in my first Porsche to the house, he was like, I don't know what you did, Dunlap, but you know, it kind of worked out for me. And I don't use that as that's not the mark of any success. But I'm a little guy, and so I like the Porsche, right? It was my neighbor had a raspberry one, and I stared at my window for 15 years growing up, and I'm like, man, if I can ever get to that point, I want to get me one of those, right? So I did it just kind of like a thing, but I'll never forget my dad, the joy in my dad's face. It's like, I don't know how you became successful, but whatever you did, keep doing it, and good for you, okay? But I learned, going back to that conversation I had with that commercial broker when he called me glib, it's like, oh, when I looked up the definition, I was like, man, that hurt. That hurt. When I took an honest assessment of like, oh, I don't want to be that person. I just don't. So I started reading more books. I started training more. I started educating myself. And I've got a library of sales books. And, you know, I know plenty of academics who are dumbasses, who have no common sense whatsoever. I've got my own learned side, and I put the work in myself. And so, the knowledge piece is huge. Nobody wants to work with a dum-dum. It's just not fun. It's not cool. There's too many smart people out there like Mike and Shauna that you could work with, right? Why would you work with somebody who doesn't have that knowledge? So be smart, It's your responsibility to educate yourself and your clients. I told the reps will come in like, P, you know, and they whine about, you know, we don't have the, I go, what about the embarrassment of riches that we do have? How about focusing on that instead of the two things that we don't? That's where people go, right? They just go to the dark side instead of focusing on the good stuff and taking responsibility for it. That's on you guys as agents. It's not just them. They're putting you in front of all these amazing tools, but you've got to do it. I could give somebody a plan on how to get in shape, but they got to do the push-ups and pull-ups. Make sense? Okay. Be a professional realtor. Again, going back to the thousands of meetings I've had when I talk to people and the interaction I've had with their buyers and sellers, I get embarrassed for them. I mean, these conversations that I've had, it's like, they have a license. So this is the way I sum it up, is that you have a license, yes, but that doesn't make you professional. They can't even spell professional, half of them. You know it. I've seen the contracts that are out there. They're embarrassing, right? Just trying to get somebody to do a contract right is a joke. So if you want to take on that responsibility, it's like be professional. Do it right. Be prepared. Right? That's how you get the jack. You're asking for 3% of 300. That's $9,000. If we went out on a date, right, and we spent $9,000, there better be manna from heaven, balloons falling from the sky, there better be videos, rolling out the red carpet, champagne, the best dinner we ever had, or we better be dressed to the nines, we're going to the Phantom of the Opera on a jet. You get me? And yet we'll go in there and collect. Many agents, give me the $9,000. Where's that? Where's that experience? There's no $9,000 experience. It's a joke. Feel me? So if you're not doing this, do this kind of stuff, and then this knowledge with the happiness that we get leads to referrals. Talking about your clients, right? Give them your knowledge, make them happy. At the end, ask them, did I do a good job? Are you loving me? Are you happy? Because I'd really love the opportunity to help some of your friends too. The beauty of it is I'm going to teach you something right now that I teach. I've taught our escrow officers. They look at me like, duh, what are you talking about? They don't get it, but it's so simple. If I was an escrow officer and Shauna was working with me, I'd be like, hey, so excited we're working together. Do the role play. Everyone hates the role play, but I've learned over the years to do it. Right now, I hated it. Now I'm a master at it. But it's like, no, it took us 6 months to get it. I'm super excited. I want to ask you a favor. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do for you. Then I want you to tell me what you've. If I deliver, this is in the beginning when we first meet, right? If I deliver on this, at the end when we're done, I'm going to ask you for another deal. Fair enough?
Yeah.
What are you going to say? Piss up a rope? No, you're going to
She
say.
says that line all the time. It's really weird that you bring that one up in particular right now.
You're going to say, Pete, if you can deliver whatever you're going to say, right? Think about it. So it's taken the awkwardness at the end, right? When you have to ask for referrals, that's where people lose it because they feel like, oh my God, I've done enough. I really don't want it. No, set it up front. It's super simple. If I kill it, remember, when this deal's over, I'm going to be asking you for some referrals. Then you kill it, then you have to deliver. You've also made a public declaration, which forces us to do better too. Okay? You get that?
Yep.
Some deep stuff. Okay, good. All right. It's so basic, it just takes effort, all this stuff. All right, let me see here. Okay. Good. God, I didn't realize how much amazing material I have. Okay. And of course, you gotta have levity, right? All right. As it relates to that last screen, is this the coolest picture? I had somebody take it. Of course, it's me right here. But this is Chichen Itza, which is in Cancun area, right? And it's an old Mayan ruin and it's super cool. It just so happened there was like nobody in the screen. There was literally maybe 10,000 people in that park. It was packed. But it just walked and I was like, I just love that shot, man. Just kind of me staring. Now this was closed because some dummy fell down. This was actually a man-made built. The original stairs were over here where they used to roll the heads down and kill everyone and do all. These guys were crazy. But be adventurous and gain knowledge, right? And have wisdom. Be smart. Wisdom is just the gaining of experiences. So
that's the only ruins I've actually seen that are not totally ruined.
Exactly.
Like on any vacation, I'm like, hey, how about we go to these ruins? And you show up, and you're like, where? Like
super cool, right?
Where are they? They're all gone.
Okay, this next picture I'm going to show you is true. It's me. It's not my head on something. and it's related to everything that I talked about, and you know, decision making and taking care of yourself and dedication and changing your life when you want to, right?
This is great.
Okay, that's what I used to look like just a few short years ago, right? And so you got the power to change a life at any time. So one day I woke up, and like I said, I've been an athlete my whole life. When I was in college, I was ripped shredded. I mean, just, and I looked at this, I wore a suit for 20 years, and I was like, what the hell happened? I didn't even realize that. I was going on a cabbage soup diet. Anyone ever done that? Disgusting, right? It's like, I can't do this shit anymore. I will not do it. But I took that picture and I was like, you know what? I'm just not gonna do that anymore. And I made the commitment just to kind of start. I didn't join a gym. I started training like a fighter in my garage. I put a bag up and I did a jump rope and I did push-ups and pull-ups, and I still eat, drink, eat ice cream. I just don't eat as much. I shrunk, and then next thing you know, I went from 175, which I was for like 20 years, didn't even realize it, to now 147. Who do you think feels better, right? Who do you think has more confidence? Who do you think has more energy? Again, where it's spun from. But more importantly, it's about the, of course I love looking at the picture because it just brings back, it makes me feel so much better now, but it's about the changes that we can make in our lives, right? But you gotta take responsibility for them, and it takes effort. And I'll tie it up here right now. Lucky you guys, we're almost done. Okay. Remember I talked about these glamorous words that I came up with, right? I think they're, you know, I think they're pretty cool. Dedication, oh shit, what happened to my, my organizationals? Where did it go? 2021? You hit it and you put them in fast. I don't know what happened. Anyway, nobody wants to talk about this anyway, but I do have this in here. Organization, we're salespeople. Sometimes we suck at it, right? We need to get better at it. And me, I've learned. I run my life by my calendar because I have a million things going on all the time. And that Facebook, I mean, not Facebook, but my Outlook is huge. So things that are planned, important things typically are planned. Important things get done. You gotta get things done, right? When you're in selling, you gotta get things done. Calendar, it's your best friend. It also speaks to your level of professionalism, right? It was in my calendar. I knew I had to prepare for it. I showed up. Mike and I are already friends, but I'm going to leave here and he's going to go, I even like Dunlap a little bit more now, right? He took the time, he came here, he prepared. It's all good. It speaks to your professionalism, your preparedness, your confidence, your knowledge, everything. These guys get a crap load of business because they're ridiculously prepared. Ridiculously and meticulously, right? Which is important, very important. And then, have you all seen the comparison? Does everyone know the phrase activity versus accomplishment? Okay, another nugget that I'm giving you, just full of just gems today, okay? So activity is just doing stuff at the end. It's like, oh yeah, I was busy. Really? Well, tell me what you accomplished. Well, nothing really. So in our right? In our world, in my world, and you can relate it to yours, you guys can. In our world, what I tell the reps is 3 to 5 one-on-one appointments every day with somebody who at some point can direct a deal to you or Fidelity. If you're not doing that, that's not an accomplishment. It's just meaningless activity. Like reps used to do, go in there and stuff mailboxes full of crap, right? Here, stick a flyer in there and then hopefully Shauna picks up the phone. That's not gonna happen. Just not gonna happen, right? And so, what are you guys doing every day, right? How many people are you influencing? And that's a huge thing too. This is influence. That, you know, I'm exuding influence out to you guys, right? Because I've sold for 35 years professionally, belly to belly, this type of stuff, what you guys need to be doing every day. And so, what are you doing to push out your influence? How many people are you talking to every day who at some point can either buy or sell? Every day. I don't know what the benchmark is, but I always thought 3 to 5 was a good one. If you're not doing that, look at what you are doing and get rid of it and start doing that. Does that make sense? Do that and you'll do better. So, consistency. All these words I talked about, this is the least sexiest, but the most important and the toughest by a mile, right? The consistency. To go from 175 in your 50s to 140, not easy, right? Just day by day, over time, next thing I know, it's like, okay, it happened, just day by day, sticking to it. So, success is earned, just keep showing up. The long and short of it is, I would show up in an office, and I remember this guy, 5:30 at night, I was doing different hours, and I met this guy, and he's like, I use Old Republic, only Old Republic. I was like, okay. He's all, Pete, but since you're here, what makes you different from Old Republic? And I looked at my watch, I go, well, it's 5:30. I don't see that guy from Old Republic here right now. And he was like, okay, you're good. You got me, right? You got me on that one. I ended up getting a few deals from him. He was kind of a curmudgeon. I didn't really want to work with him. I'm not into 100% market share. I want to work with people that I like too, right? That's important. But at the time, I needed deals. So I would just keep showing up. Keep showing up. It's like one of the things I learned, sadly, from my divorce with my kids is that I showed up every day. They never had to worry about it. They know their dad loves them, right? Show up regularly. That's huge. And it makes a difference with your clients too. So as I was talking about your sphere of influence, if you're not, how often are you touching them? How often are you calling them? How often are you making a friendly noise? Probably not often enough, if you're being honest, right? So keep showing up. Has everyone heard of Derek Jeter? Okay, great story. Played a lot of baseball as a kid. Derek Jeter, 23 years, 5-point player, run, hit, homers, MVPs, everything, right? Good looking, never in the news, great parents. Dude's just solid human being. Well, we can all agree Derek Jeter knew how to play shortstop, and he was so good. Had he told the Yankees, look, I ain't showing up to spring training, they're not going to say, fine, don't show up. They wanted him to be their shortstop. But for 23 years, that guy went to Florida for 8 weeks a year to practice his craft. Which is what we're doing, right? Which is why I like you guys anyway, but I like you more now because of what you do, right? And that responsibility of, like Mike said, getting better, it takes effort. It doesn't just happen. And so, this guy, one of the best players, straight Hall of Fame, first ballot for 23 years, 8 weeks, bunt, hit, run. He could do it in his sleep, but he did it just to get better. So, question to you is, what are you doing to get better? What are you doing to become a better agent? How often do you practice? Do you practice your listing presentation? Are you tweaking it, right? Do you know what you're going to say? Do you prep when you bring buyers out? What are you doing to get better? And I always just think of Derek Jeter as just like, wow, that guy's a stud. And yet every year he goes down there and practices. I mean, that says something, right? That speaks to your dedication. Again, everything. Multiple touches equals winning business, right? Look, our friendship is still new. It's in its infancy, but it's getting better and better. And these guys know, look, maybe if there's something else and they had another, maybe they're like, you know what, maybe we'll bring Pete in. We'll bring Pete in again for another panel or something, which I'd love to do. But we're multiple touches. We're learning about each other. It takes effort, but that's what you guys have to do, okay? In selling, just in my world, 5 to 9 touches with an agent before you typically get a deal. How often you get that done, the timeline, right, makes a difference. Okay, and then, again, I told you the least sexiest word, but actually one of the most important. I think we can all agree with that, consistency. It's so tough to do things every day, right? Just to get in there and do it. And then, I would say this, thank you. Remember what I talked about? The gratitude, and, Mike, sincerely, for allowing me to present to your group. Super happy we're all friends and associates, wishing you all nothing but happiness and more success, and I mean it. It's you want to hang around people who are geared towards success. At least I do. I just think it just makes you feel better and it's more fun. And I'm super happy that day that Ashley called you, right, and made that and just made the connection for all of us. And I'm super grateful to be here. Hopefully you guys, there's a couple nuggets I imparted, and I mean.